Hello, I'm Bob Evans.
And I'm Tara Allen. This is Family Times.
On this edition of Family Times, Denny Hancock called it something different. Whatever you call it, it has transformed a family and the lives of many people who in different ways lost theirs.
What do successful children have in common? A respected research group has a checklist. We'll share it with you. Plus, how to keep important family memories right at your fingertips. Hello, and welcome to Family Times.
Well-adjusted, energetic, optimistic, and crime-free kids don't happen by accident. Mike Cottam will be along today to tell us about a revealing study on the things good kids have in common.
We have a wonderful movie recommendation for you this week. We'll check in with Chris Hicks for that. And we're going to Maria's house for some tips on keeping important family memories within reach and in good condition.
First, of all the things that families do to help create a family glue, this is one that really sticks. If you were to create a slogan for it, it might go like this: the best way to help yourself is to help others. Denny Hancock, husband and father of 5, found that out in a way he didn't quite expect. From the front page now, a Seattle family comes out of the rain.
It's Wednesday night in a part of Seattle where you don't want to be at night. But it's a familiar place and time for Denny Hancock, his family, and their friends.
All right.
And for those who for the past 6 years have benefited from their charity. This is a scene which tells only part of the story. A story that begins years ago and miles away at a roadside cafe.
I saw these men coming in and I immediately thought, man, I hope they don't sit by me. And I turned away, and before I knew it, they were sitting right next to me, I think, despite me.
It was the young Denny Hancock, husband and father, carpet layer trying to eke out a living, who stopped by for a bite at the County Line Cafe.
I smiled and I talked, and the older man talked back, and he was really a nice old guy, and he got up to use the phone, and I started talking to the younger man, and he basically didn't do it. He was motionless, and I looked closer, I could tell that he was blind, and he had a few other problems.
And suddenly the situation turned from discomfort to shock. The ragged blind man sitting next to Denny suddenly lapsed into seizure and fell to the floor.
And I'd never seen that before, and it really scared me, and I called for his friend. And his friend hurried over and took his hand and comforted him and looked up at me and said, "Please don't judge us." He said, "This is my son, and he's been like this since he was a baby." And then he got up, and they walked out of the cafe, and it just left me feeling like I have to do something different.
Profoundly moved by his experience, Denny came straight home, and within a half hour had defined, in the language he loves most, a change of heart.
At the County Line Cafe, I was sitting, passing time away, when in walked a father and his son.
The song County Line Cafe has become an anthem that Denny has performed hundreds of times, and a symbol of what is now a family matter for the Hancocks. What was once Denny's big carpet truck now doubles as the official vehicle for Mama's Hands, one of the Hancock family projects to help the needy of Seattle. On this typical summer day, Denny and his 5 children are picking up donated furniture. In the peace and seclusion of a forest outside Seattle, the furniture is delivered to the House of Hope.
This is the House of Hope. We were able to buy this a couple years ago, and we bought it specifically for women and children in crisis.
6 months ago, Sheila Fontana and her daughter Jasmine left some tough circumstances behind and found hope here. Sheila is now a resident manager, but she will soon be one of the more than 40 women who will have used the House of Hope to put their lives back together before starting over in the outside world.
It's given me a chance to, you know, sit down and sort out my life and, you know, figure out what it is that I really want to do. And so I'm looking into also, you know, getting back into doing dental work and stuff, because that's what I originally did.
This is where they sleep. It's not very fancy, but it's clean.
While the residents of the house maintain the facility as part of their goal to be self-reliant, the Hancock children are a critical part of its success. Billy and Minta tutor children in math and other subjects.
3 pennies. 80 plus 3 pennies.
And besides the other work of upkeep, the Hancock children are peers who give resident children a taste of what normal family relationships can be like. The serenity and security surrounding the House of Hope is a world away from the regular Wednesday night trip into downtown Seattle. The Mama's Hands truck bears food and phones. The Hancocks have teamed up with a cellular phone company to provide the homeless with a few minutes of home, wherever that may be. It is a rich experience for the Hancocks and the other volunteers they bring along.
We have sent over 50 men and women and children home to their families all across the United States.
And that's where it all comes back to the Hancocks.
So we're seeing families reunited, you know, people coming off the street and going back to either a son, a daughter, a wife, and it's such a great feeling, and my kids are seeing that too. And I think they recognize the power of the family and how important families are.
And often it's the importance of family in the larger sense, the family of man, the one George the homeless checker player and young Billy Hancock belonged to.
Well, a long time ago, we used to go to a shelter, and I used to play like checkers and stuff like that with him, and we'd have a lot of conversations, and I don't know what really happened to him.
To be sure, it's not always easy. The Hancock's kindness is not always welcome.
I just ignore it, or walk away, or just ask questions, or smile at them, and they smile back.
They're normal people that just made bad decisions and ended up where they are.
And we do recognize, and probably the thing we've learned the most, is that we can't help anyone that doesn't want to help themselves.
They are the lessons that are most important. Even as the family watches local news reports of their good works, they shun the spotlight except to benefit the project. It has brought the family closer. Rachel says she need look no further than her own father for a hero.
I think that he's pretty incredible. I think that courage that he's had to pursue his dream, I guess. Not many people would go out and just give everything that he has to make this work.
That's better. Right, sweetheart. Love you. Don't forget your prayers, okay?
With Billy in bed, the family packs for a long overdue vacation. Family service seems to make family recreation more meaningful.
Okay, there's 2.
A footnote here. The Hancocks would be the first to tell you they are not the perfect family. They struggle with the same things other families do. But Denny and Leslie are confident of the roadmap that points to a purpose in their lives and to the lives of all God's children.
We're all children of our Father in heaven. He loves them, so do I. At the County Line Cafe.
Our time is at an end. Thanks for sharing this with us. Next week on Family Times, we take on the issue that is troubling far too many families, the matter of our children and illegal drugs, including our interview with a famous crusader against substance abuse. He has a powerful message about the role of families in stopping this tragedy.
And therefore, our reminder that the greatest work you'll ever do will be within the walls of your own home. As we leave you, once again, the beginnings of the story featured at the start of this program, as experienced and performed by Denny Hancock.
The County Line Cafe, I watched them as they walked away, and I hung my